Francois de la Rochefoucauld was a 17th-century French duke who spent most of his life in the salons of Paris, watching powerful people manipulate each other and then writing down what he saw. His book, The Maxims, is the most precise, most devastating, most uncomfortably accurate analysis of human self-deception ever published. And it is, I believe, the single most useful book for anyone who works in a corporate environment. I don't mean this as a joke. I don't mean it as a provocation. I mean it literally. The Maxims describe with surgical precision the dynamics I encounter every day in meetings, in negotiations, in performance reviews, in strategy sessions, and in the quiet political maneuvering that constitutes most of what actually happens in an organization. La Rochefoucauld saw it all 350 years ago in a different language, in a different century, in the court of a king instead of the corridors of a corporation, but the dynamics are identical because the dynamics are human, the self-love engine. La Rochefoucauld's central insight is that self-love, amour propre, is the engine that drives all human behavior, not some human behavior, all of it, including the behavior that looks altruistic, generous, and virtuous, especially that behavior. Because self-love, La Rochefoucauld argues, is infinitely creative in its ability to disguise itself. It will dress up as humility, it will perform selflessness, it will sacrifice conspicuously in order to be admired for the sacrifice. Humility is often a feigned submission which we employ to supplant others. It is one of the devices of pride to lower us, to raise us. I read this and I thought of every performance review I've ever sat through. The colleague who says, I'm not great at accepting praise while accepting praise. The leader who describes their management style as servant leadership, while ensuring that everyone in the room knows they are the servant. The team member who volunteers for the worst assignment, and then makes certain that the volunteering is visible to the people who matter. La Rochefoucauld doesn't condemn these performances. That's what makes him useful rather than merely cynical. He observes them with the cool precision of a naturalist studying animal behavior. He says, this is what humans do. This is how the engine works. If you understand the engine, you can navigate the world more honestly, not because you're exempt from self-love, but because you know you're not. The Flattery Trap. Here is my favorite passage from the Maxims, and the one I think about most often in professional settings. The chief obstacle is that we are quick to be satisfied with ourselves. If we find someone to call us good men, cautious, and principled, we acknowledge him. We are not content with a moderate eulogy, but accept as our due whatever flattery has shamelessly heaped upon us. We agree with those who call us best and wisest, although we know they often utter many falsehoods. So it follows that we don't want to change because we believe we are already excellent. Read that again. It is a complete theory of why organizations resist change. Not because change is hard, not because the market is uncertain, not because the competition is fierce, because the people inside the organization have been told they're excellent and they believed it, and now they cannot hear the evidence that they're not. The flattery has sealed the ears, the compliments have closed the eyes, and the organization drifts comfortably toward irrelevance. I have watched this happen. I have participated in it. I have been the person delivering the flattery and the person receiving it. And La Rochefoucauld's maxim, read at night in the quiet of my study, has been the cold water on my face. The reminder that the praise I enjoy hearing is often the praise I least deserve, that the eulogy I accept most eagerly is the one I should examine most carefully, that the person who tells me I'm excellent may be, without malice, helping me fail. The Idleness Maxim, one more because it's too good not to share. Of all passions, that which is least known to us is idleness. She is the most ardent and evil of all, although her violence may be insensible, and the evils she causes concealed. The repose of idleness is a magic charm which suddenly suspends the most ardent pursuits and the most obstinate resolutions. This is the best description of procrastination I've ever encountered. Not the modern productivity guru version. Like you're procrastinating because you haven't broken the task into small enough steps. The real version, the terrifying version. Idleness is not a failure of technique. It's a passion. It's an active force as powerful as ambition or lust that works invisibly to undo your best intentions. It doesn't attack you openly. It seduces you. It offers you the magic charm of repose, and the charm works every time because the charm appeals to the one thing that self love wants more than success: comfort. La Rochefoucauld wrote this in 1665. I read it in 2024, sitting at my desk in New Jersey, and I recognized the force he was describing. I had felt it that morning. I had felt it every morning, the invisible hand that steers you away from the important and toward the easy, the charm that makes scrolling feel productive, the passion that disguises itself as rest. Read La Rochefoucauld, not as literature, as Reconnaissance. He has mapped the terrain you traverse every day, the terrain of the human ego, with its disguises and its seductions and its infinite capacity for self congratulation. The map is 350 years old. The terrain hasn't changed.